I look for peace in the flower. I look for peace in the flower. I look for peace in the flower. I feel peace with everyone, in the heart of everyone. I look for peace in the sunshine. I look for peace in the sunshine.
Dalhousie University has launched an investigation into misogynistic and sexually explicit online posts attributed to some of its dentistry students.
In the heart of everyone.
What a traitorous bitch. You are both a disgrace to Alberta, lying bitches. Now you have two blonde bimbos in a party that is clueless. Another useless tit goes NDP. Dead meat. Sandra should stay in the kitchen where she belongs. Fly with the crows and get shot. Dumb broad, a good place for her to be is with the rest of the queers.
I look for peace in the starlight. I look for peace in the starlight. I look for peace in the starlight. I feel peace with everyone, in the heart of everyone.
Radical and courageous conversations, coupled with creativity and imagination, can strengthen our capacities to critique, to question, to build, to deepen, and to broaden our readings of each other and the world. We need to struggle, disobey, challenge, and defy. But equally, we need to let laughter, humor, and fun into our lives if we are going to change this world. Women, adult educators, feminists, curators, activists, professionals, Indigenous peoples, librarians, scholars, poets, and more call on us to create spaces of encounter, opportunities for women, men, and others on the gender spectrum to come together in conversation about activism, justice, and change, and to put forward the creative ideas needed to respond to this troubled world and its pressing gender, ecological, and social issues. They have challenged us. We shall not disappoint them. These are the stories of women who act subversively, yet purposefully and courageously upon the gendered Canadian landscape.
I want to talk this morning about why art matters, how art transforms through active looking. Because art is a radical intervention into everyday life. Art is questioning the known, the routine, the given, and ultimately authority. Next. Art is a bridge between differences. Next. Just the simple, simultaneous act of looking at art in a shared space bridges differences between people and the possible threats that may exist between them. So, as an artist, I am active all the time as a witness, as I am in my life a witness.
And I wanted to, again, just introduce myself and say that I too am a guest and a visitor here on traditional Songhees and Esquimalt territory. I moved here in 1994. I'm from Six Nations territory of Mohawk and from the Haudenosaunee people. And I'm very, very pleased to be here today. We broke the rules. We didn't even recognize the rules to break them. First understanding as an Indigenous woman and as an activist is that a warrior's first work is a spiritual work. You have to be prepared spiritually. You have to prepare the territories spiritually, and then you go and carry on with your business. It's not about war, not always. It's about being prepared and centered in yourself as a spiritual person. That's a warrior. That's where a warrior begins. Next slide, please.
I'm like Charlene. I said, what does it mean to be a woman warrior? Well, to us as Indigenous people, to be a warrior is to be a protector, to be a defender. Whether it's a defender of the land, the water, the resources, our families, our children, whatever you choose to protect, and that's what we're going to do. You know, way back in the day when Gordon Campbell was just coming in as Premier of British Columbia, he was doing so many things against First Nations. You know, he brought the court case against the Niska and self-government, and he was going to do a treaty referendum, and I'll tell you a story about that a bit later. We decided to form a war council. A war council. Wow, did we get the press. And I just happened to be one of the co-chairs of the war council. And, you know, people were all worried that we were going to go to war and take on Canada. And, of course, you know, for us, we were going to defend our rights, our title, everything that, you know, we as Indigenous people are entitled to. That was what we were going to do. And for a while there, I was, like I said, co-chair, and I was in the news. And some of the people we were going to do business with were saying, well, do we really want to go into business with her? She's in the War Council. But one of the partners partners that was working with us really knew me, understood what it was I was trying to do. And I had a male counterpart that was also the co-chair. And eventually he just kind of took it over, like a man does. Sorry, should have said that. Yeah, so I just kind of faded out, but I mean, I was still part of the war council and what we were doing. So what does it take to be a woman warrior? One thing that we all have is a voice. And raising that voice, bringing attention to issues, is something we can all do. And whatever that is in your world, it doesn't have to be something big. We don't need to be Hillary Clintons. We don't need to be,
I joined the Naval Reserve in 1975 as a summer job. I was a reluctant joiner. I was going to be a lifeguard, make $1 an hour and get a tan. And that sounded like a great summer job at the time. I was in grade 12. And I had a phone call that changed the path of my career and to a certain extent my life. And I was told about a summer program for students that was an 8-week introduction to the military, where between 8 to 4 you went down and did the equivalent of basic training in your local community. They were also going to pay me a lot more than my lifeguarding salary, and it was completely different than anything that any of my friends were doing. And it sounded like an interesting adventure, but as well as a bit of a challenge. And so my career began. But I joined a very different military in 1975. Career options for women were restricted. There were a lot of limits and limitations, and gradually over the years I've seen all of those fade away. When I joined in 1975, women did not march in platoons with men because our uniform skirt was so tapered it did not allow us to step out with the same length of pace as a man. Our first dress uniform was designed by Montreal designers in the style of stewardess uniforms, with a short jacket, a pleated blouse. We wore our rank like a brooch. And I marched with white gloves and a purse. Our bowler hats were also styled like European flight attendants. I was not allowed to carry a weapon, and I was not allowed to be in a guard on parade. I could, however, carry my purse. We didn't have pockets in our skirts, so you had to carry your ID card or money in your shoe or tucked into your bra, which made it a little bit awkward when you were paying for something if you weren't carrying the purse. Ranks were also very different for male and female, indicating, in the case of the Navy, that I was a red. As an officer, we carried a brackets W, so people would know that you were a woman. And when I was a lieutenant, it also included a brackets N for Navy, brackets R for Reserve, and brackets W for woman.
So for 15 years in the Canadian Forces, there has been about one person a year that has left for reasons of sexual harassment, sexual misconduct, or issues related to the like. And in 15 years in various roles of leadership, these are people that I was unable to help or my help was not sufficient, and they felt they had to leave. My mother was born in Scotland, so we are new immigrants, but I feel, and I've said this to some First Nation leaders, one who I was very fond of, and I met on the street in Victoria, I said to her, "Oh, what are you doing in my territory?" And we laughed about it because it is how I feel about it.
I feel deeply about what we've been given. I've traveled the world. I know how special it is, what we have here in British Columbia, on Vancouver Island, Victoria, Clapham Sound, some of these amazing places. And we do have to stand up. We have to be protectors and defenders of the land. And I think that is one of, and Elizabeth talked about some of the battles we've had against all odds. It's always been against all odds. But being outspoken as a woman does leave you open to attack. And it is very difficult. And people say things to you they'd never say to a man. It is so much easier for men. And we have to change that. We've got to, you know, Elizabeth had a point that she put in Tom McMillan's speech. If we don't change our course, we'll end up where we're headed. So we have to change our course. It's up to all of us to stand up.
I look for peace in the flower. I look for peace in the flower. I look for peace in the flower. I feel peace with everyone. In the heart of